From 2024 to 2025, the idea of a car that powers itself was suddenly everywhere. Designed to end dependence on fuel stations and charging grids, it promised unlimited range and zero emissions. Yet behind the hype lay deep scientific questions. Critics dismissed it as pseudoscience. Enthusiasts claimed it was the future. These are the shocking secrets of Zimbabwe's self-powering car phenomenon, and why Elon Musk is reportedly furious. To understand where we stand now, we must rewind decades. For over a century, the automobile depended on internal combustion engines, fueled by gasoline or diesel. In the 21st century, the shift toward electric vehicles placed lithium-ion batteries and charging networks at the heart of innovation. Tesla, under Elon Musk's leadership, became a dominant force by scaling batteries, superchargers, and energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, in Zimbabwe, a technologist named Maxwell Chikumbutso claimed to be working on a radical alternative. He proposed a vehicle that would not rely on batteries or charging, one that would harness ambient energy, such as radio frequency waves, and convert it to usable power. In early 2025, his company unveiled prototypes to national leaders. On February 10, 2025, Zimbabwe's government formally presented what it called a self-powering electric vehicle to the world. The official narrative: no fuel, no charging, unlimited range. Yet in reality, few outside the inner circle had access to scientific documentation. What we have now is a mixture of bold claims, skeptical analysis, and intense media attention. What it lacked was credible demonstration under scientific conditions. Chikumbutso's claims rest on a so-called microsonic energy device that converts ambient radio frequency waves into electricity. He argues that RF signals, Wi-Fi, radio, cellular, carry energy, and that his device can harvest and amplify them to power motors. However, fundamental physics, especially the laws of thermodynamics, pose a huge obstacle. RF waves in the environment carry extremely low power. The energy required to move a car, overcome drag, and power electronics is millions of times greater. The gap cannot be bridged without an external energy input. Critics say the claims violate the conservation of energy. The most obvious example came when Chikumbutso attempted to patent his invention. Patent offices reportedly rejected it, citing violation of natural laws. The consequence? Scientists dismissed the idea as impossible. The reputation among the technical community suffered severe damage. Then came the boldest claim of all. Zimbabwe was producing 30,000 self-powering cars per day. The number spread like wildfire, triggering shock across the world and, reportedly, anger from Elon Musk himself. What it lacked was credible data. There is no verifiable evidence that such a production line exists. No global database lists 30,000 of these vehicles rolling off lines daily. In reality, it appears to be a viral exaggeration. The business reason? Hype. Exaggerated numbers generate attention, attract investors, and stir national pride. But the consequence was skepticism and backlash. Ask almost any engineer, mass production without infrastructure is impossible. Another mystery lies in the partnerships behind the project. Reports suggest Chikumbutso's operation collaborated with Chinese automakers who provided vehicle shells and tooling. The narrative claimed Zimbabwe owned the energy core while China supplied the chassis. But upon inspection, experts found these were existing electric vehicle bodies retrofitted for demonstration. The business reason was practical: use available platforms to accelerate rollout. The unintended consequence was suspicion. How much of this was truly new? Some parts were identical to known Chinese EVs, revealing that the supposed breakthrough might just be a rebranded model with unproven modifications. What it also lacked was independent verification. Chikumbutso refused to publish blueprints or share test data with external labs. He described the system as a trade secret, beyond patents or academic review. In reality, no third-party laboratory has confirmed that the energy output of the device exceeds or even matches the input. Scientists attempting to analyze it reached dead ends. The reason for secrecy may be to protect intellectual property or avoid scrutiny, but the effect is the same. The scientific community disregards the claims. Ask almost any physicist what frustrates them most, and they'll say, lack of transparency. Then there's the Elon Musk factor. As the story spread, media headlines screamed that Musk was furious, alleging that Zimbabwe's cars threatened to destroy Tesla's empire. What it lacked was confirmation. No Tesla executive has ever spoken about it publicly. Still, the speculation made sense to many. If a truly self-powering car existed, it would instantly make Tesla's battery-based model obsolete. It would destroy the foundation of Musk's empire: batteries, solar, charging, and grid networks. The unexpected consequence was global buzz. The rumor of Musk's anger turned the Zimbabwe story into a viral showdown: Africa versus Silicon Valley. Whether or not Musk ever reacted, the narrative took on a life of its own. But even if the invention were genuine, the real challenge would be scale. Producing a few prototypes is one thing. Building, maintaining, and distributing thousands daily is another. What it lacked was proof of infrastructure: supply chains, quality control, crash testing, regulatory approval, global logistics. Zimbabwe's economy, while resilient, faces energy shortages, inflation, and import restrictions. Establishing a massive manufacturing base under such conditions borders on impossible. The reason these details are often ignored is simple. The myth sells better than the machinery, yet the unintended consequence is disillusionment. Early adopters risk being left with unserviceable cars, unsupported by parts or certification. Despite all the doubts, one truth remains. This story captured the imagination of millions. In Zimbabwe and across Africa, it became a symbol of possibility. A story of a nation daring to defy global giants, of innovation from unexpected places. Politicians embraced it as proof that Africa could lead in technology, not just follow. Social media filled with pride and debate. To some, it was the dream of energy independence. To others, the latest chapter in a long history of unverified miracles. Globally, the story resonated because it challenged assumptions. What if technology doesn't have to come only from Silicon Valley or Shenzhen? What if the future could emerge from Harare? Even if the physics are wrong, the psychology is powerful. People want to believe in the impossible, especially when the impossible promises freedom. And yet, as time passes, the evidence remains elusive. No verified test, no global rollout, no transparent data. The legacy of the Zimbabwe self-powering car may not be in its technology, but in its symbolism. It represents a moment when a small nation dared to imagine a world without oil, without batteries, without limits. What if, just what if, those self-powering cars had truly worked and reshaped every road on Earth? Instead, the legacy remains uncertain. A daring promise, a viral legend, and a challenge to the world's most powerful innovators. In our time, perception may outlast reality.